Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Lost in the Pond, and the video is 6 things I can now do as a new US citizen. And found this out in my last reaction. I didn't know about this. And yeah, obviously that's big news. It's like life-changing stuff. If you're living in a country, you become a citizen finally. That's basically what anyone wants when they move to a country. So we're going to watch this, and I don't know what differences there will be. I guess, like, say... I don't know. I'm not going to say he would because I feel like he's probably the last person to break the law. But say you stole something from a shop. Like, I don't know. Just something. Or you stole something. You just done something not too, like, serious. But just a bit like the police aren't going to like it pretty much. If you aren't a citizen, I'm going to take the assumption that they can send you back to your original country. But now he's a citizen. He has, like, the rights of someone who's from the US. So he can avoid certain situations like that. That's sort of what I'm assuming. But we're going to see there's obviously going to be other advantages as well. And yeah, we're going to check this out. Hopefully going to enjoy. I've recently made some playlists. I had a few people saying they can't see them. But I've made a few playlists for certain reactions that I've been doing because it makes it easier for people to watch certain types of reactions that they want of mine. But if you have any other playlist sort of suggestions you want, maybe a Lost in the Pond playlist of all my reactions to it, or just Mr. Ballin' or whatever it is, I will do so because... it just makes it easier for people. I don't know why I never done it, and it's going to take a long time, but it does make it a lot easier for you to watch the reactions you want. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to get into this. Hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon as well if you want to see some extra reactions that I can't post to YouTube for whatever reason. And that's pretty much it. Let's jump into this and see what things he can get away with now he's a citizen.
Hello and Happy New Year to my fellow Americans. I've always wanted to say that. And to my fellow Brits and people around the world. And cats, apparently. This is the first video of the new year, and it's the first time that I've entered a new year being a citizen of more than one country. In case you missed my December special, which I will link to at the end of this video, I am now a citizen of the United States of America. And it got me thinking, how does that really change my life, except for the fact that I'll now cry at the end of the film Independence Day? Well, it turns out that it actually changes my life in several big ways. During the last 14 years in which I resided here legally as a lawful permanent resident, I was for the most part able to live my life quite freely. However, there were some restrictions. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how those restrictions no longer apply to my life since becoming a United States citizen. Now, if you're watching this and you don't have a clue who I am, but you like the cut of my jib and think, ooh, maybe I should subscribe, do that now! Number one, and this should fill you with absolute dread, I can...
Fair enough, he can become the president.
...now run for political office. Let me clarify that. I can run for most political offices, including senator, although there is the caveat with that I have to have been a citizen for 9 years. So you're going to have to wait till the 2030s until you can vote for me. But I can also run for governor of Illinois, and there are no terms on how long I have to have been a citizen for that. That does vary by state, but Illinois' laws are thus, so I could run today. I should point out, I have no ambition to run for office. I'd rather run away from office, and that's probably what I'll do. And that's definitely true of the presidency, because that's one of the rare jobs in which you not only have to be a US citizen, but you have to be a US born citizen. So the only way I'm going to achieve it is by being cast in Independence Day 3, which frankly is a dream. Actually, this one might scare you more. I can now legally work for the CIA. I could be doing intelligence missions in, well, Britain or just overseas. Because by law, the CIA can't employ non-US citizens. You don't have to have been born here, you just have to have US citizenship. And this is actually true of most federal government jobs. Right? I actually did a search online for jobs for which you have to be a US citizen. There's a surprising amount of them. Social Security Administration, the Library of Congress, the FBI. I could be Fox Mulder from the X-Files. People have often said I look like a young David Duchovny, and they wouldn't lie to me. So there it is. If I ever get bored of my job as a YouTube sensation, how could I? Then I could take up a position as the head of the FBI. I can now leave the country without restrictions. I don't know if a lot of people...
Wait, there's restrictions if you're not a citizen of leaving the country? Wait, what? I mean, that probably shouldn't be a surprise, but so if you're not a citizen... you're going to have issues just leaving the country and I guess coming back as well.
I'll know this, but when I was just a permanent lawful resident, I was prohibited by law from leaving the country for more than 6 months at a time. If I did that, I'd lose my green card and wouldn't be allowed back into the country to live and work.
Wow.
That no longer exists in my life. I can leave the country for however long I want. I could go on that year-long trip to Uzbekistan. Because as you've seen, I'm clearly trying to get my citizenship in all of the U countries.
Wait, he's been to all these U countries? Oh, he's just He's just saying the UK and the US.
To Uzbekistan. Because as you've seen, I'm clearly trying to get my citizenship in all of the U countries, so why not there next? Uruguay in 2035, by which time I'll be a senator in Illinois. I could do all of that and then just return to the United States unimpeded and go about my business as I did prior to leaving. It's a small thing, admittedly. I'm not the sort of person that leaves the country for more than half a year at a time. But it is good to know that I'll be treated the same way at customs as my wife. I included this one because the knowledge that I'm about to impart might be more useful to other people than it is to me. But if I happen to have children that were under the age of 18 who are also permanent lawful residents, they would automatically become US citizens by virtue of the fact that I've just become a US citizen. Come to think of it, my wife is already a US citizen, so they probably would have beaten me to the punch. But as you can see, I have a cat, so we're going to have to look up the laws around animals and whether they adopt human citizenship of countries. What do you think, Kafka? Kafka? You don't care.
That's such a cute cat, man.
Yes, this is where the real cause for celebration comes in. I can now legally attend jury duty. I'm not that excited about it, to be honest.
Oh, is this... I remember being told us about this in school. I've never had to do it, but is this when you just get randomly selected to be in a jury to decide if someone goes to jail or not? This is what it is, right? I've never done it, and I hopefully never do. I don't know the chances of it actually happening, right? But I know it's just literally as random as anything. And you'll see like these crazy things that people have done. If it's a bad sort of... if they've done something horrible, obviously, you'll see what they've done, I'm pretty sure. But... yeah, it's legally required. And do you get... I don't think you'd get paid for it, because it's supposed to be... You're supposed to be as like just... It's not from a biased perspective. You're just supposed to pick what you think is the right decision, right? I think so, but...
In fact, it's not just that I can now legally attend jury duty, I am in fact legally required to do so.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is I've lived on this planet for over 40 years, and I've never ever once attended jury duty in either country. However, I have been summoned on 2 occasions. 14 years ago, shortly after moving to this country, I received a letter from the British authorities saying that I needed to attend jury duty in my hometown of Grimsby. But because I lived overseas, I was exempt from doing so, and we all partied the night away. A few months later, I received a similar letter from Indiana authorities saying that Lawrence Brown, you have been chosen to attend jury duty here in the state of Indiana. I don't remember all of the specifics. What I do remember is I wasn't eligible. I had to write back to them and tell them, ooh, whoever filed my case wasn't very detail oriented. I was much nicer than that. Because I'm not a US citizen. You need to be a US citizen in order to be considered for jury duty in the United States. So I got a reprieve and still haven't had to do it. Somebody joked the other day, knowing how this goes, that I'll probably receive that notice before I even receive my US passport. And fine, if I have to be a juror on a case and make a decision about that case, you can rest easy with the knowledge that I used to play the game Clue a lot, so I'm good at working things out. It's probably the candlestick in some room or other involving a person who has a colour for a last name. Just realised that I do. Could get awkward. And finally, as a direct consequence of becoming a citizen of the United States of America, I am now eligible to vote. And I'm not just talking about those Twitter polls from my wife's cousin Chad, I'm talking about actual US elections. And I know what you're thinking, ooh, Lawrence, you've always been able to vote in the midterms and local elections, right? Wrong. Even as a lawful permanent resident green card holder who paid his taxes and occasionally ate at White Castle, I was prohibited from voting in almost all US elections. And now that those restrictions don't exist, it is my solemn duty not only to register to vote, but to turn up at a voting machine and vote the heck out of it, if that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean. This is especially important ahead of my inevitable run in the 2034 midterms. And so there's just a selection of the things that I can now legally do as a citizen of the United States. And I want to thank you all for the hundreds and thousands of congratulatory messages that came my way during and after my previous video in which I announced my citizenship.
Oh, so you made a video about it?
Lawrence Brown, you can follow...
I didn't know that. Oh, I guess you don't... How do you become a citizen? Is it literally just as simple as taking a test about the country? Is that actually what it is? Because that sounds a bit crazy to become a citizen, but I guess there's more to it as well. You can't just do that. You have to have like history in the country as well. But yeah, congratulations. And obviously done that previous video. Maybe I have to check that one out as well. But like I said at the start, if you say you break certain laws and you're not a citizen, there's different repercussions for if you're a citizen, right? Because if you're a citizen, you can't be sent to another country because you're a citizen of this country. But if you've got a green card or whatever it is, permanent residency, can you get kicked out? Well, let me just search. Get kicked out of a country. Oh, why is it in capitals? On. Oh, so it's the same as the UK, but so it can be revoked. Okay. Okay, I see. So yeah, I guess it can then. So yeah, that's a big difference. Don't forget that the terms for being governor of Illinois usually involve prison terms after leaving office. Oh wow, is that how it is? Damn. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, if you want more reactions to Lost in the Pond or just other channels similar, let me know in the comments. And until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.